Welcome to this explainer. Look, with the constant buzz about a potential recession, marketing budgets are inevitably feeling the squeeze, and that means the pressure is absolutely on. Every single marketing dollar you spend right now has to be carefully allocated for maximum ROI. The old days of just throwing a giant bag of money at a massive influencer campaign and, crossing your fingers, yeah, those days are totally over. Today, we're digging into a massive industry report, pulling from over 1 million influencer profiles to figure out exactly how this whole ecosystem is evolving right in front of us. So where should that next dollar actually go? It's literally the million-dollar question. The stakes for finding real, tangible value out there in the digital landscape have honestly never been higher. We're seeing this massive shift where brands are finally ditching sheer vanity metrics and brand awareness and demanding genuine conversions and real community trust. The ground is shifting fast, but if we pay attention, there's incredible value to be found. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap. We're going to cover the social platform wars, the rise of nano-influencers, short-form video dominance, the live shopping boom, and finally, new marketing frontiers. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1, the social platform wars. This is the ultimate battleground right now, mostly between Meta, TikTok, and YouTube. When you really look at these platforms side by side, you see a wild shift in consumer behavior. For a long time, Instagram was the go-to spot for highly curated aesthetic product recommendations and just keeping up with your friends. But then ByteDance's TikTok came along and completely flipped the script with a highly addictive, entertainment-driven algorithm. Suddenly, it's way less about who you follow and all about the algorithm feeding you incredibly engaging, personalized video content. It has forced massive, foundational changes across every single platform. And you can see the real-world impact of this right here. We are looking at an absolute freefall, a massive 69% drop in Facebook influencer posts between 2021 and 2022. Instagram? They dropped by 15% too. But meanwhile, TikTok posts jumped 11.5%, and YouTube, obviously getting a nice bump from YouTube Shorts, saw a 7% increase. The marketing dollars are quite literally just following the eyeballs straight to short-form video. Which leads us perfectly into Section 2. The rise of nano-influencers. The power dynamics are changing, shifting away from the mega celebrities and right into the hands of these much smaller creators. Take a second to process this number, 177.97%. That is wild. That actually represents the average engagement rate based on views for a nano-influencer on TikTok in 2022. To put that in perspective for you, the micro-influencers sitting just one tier above them, they only hit about 77%. So the takeaway here is loud and clear. Smaller, fiercely loyal communities are absolutely crushing massive follower counts right now. So we really need to nail down exactly who these creators are. A nano-influencer is generally someone with fewer than 10,000 followers. Honestly, it could be your neighbor, your coworker, or just someone really obsessed with a specific hobby. Their superpower is their rawness. They don't look or act like walking billboards. They literally just turn on the camera and act like themselves. Because their community is so tight-knit, the level of trust is off the charts, which translates directly to actual purchasing power. And for brands, they are insanely cost-effective. Now that we know who is actually winning, let's look at how they're pulling it off in Section 3, short-form video dominance. Let's break down the winning formats. You probably remember this whole saga from 2022. Two of the absolute biggest celebrity influencers on Earth, Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian, basically demanded that Instagram stop trying to copy TikTok and just go back to normal static photos. The platform got hit with a ton of backlash. But the head of Instagram essentially came out and said, look, the shift to video is happening whether we like it or not. The genie is completely out of the bottle. Actually, Gen Z audiences are increasingly using social video feeds as their main search engine, skipping traditional Google entirely. So if Gen Z is treating social platforms like a search engine, what exactly are they typing into the search bar? Well, these are the formats that are winning right now. Brands need to collaborate with influencers on highly snackable product teasers, quick step-by-step tutorials, and really honest reviews. Educational explainers are also massive right now for breaking down, say, complex tech or finance topics. And of course, the classic day-in-the-lifestyle content is just perfect for humanizing a brand. You've got to make content that directly answers what people are actively searching for. And the logical next step after watching a tutorial is, well, buying the thing. That brings us to Section 4, the live shopping boom, connecting the digital and the physical. Okay, the sheer scale of this is mind-blowing. $387 billion, with a B.
That is how much revenue live stream shopping generated. And that's just in China, just in 2022. It is an absolute juggernaut of an industry. And while the US and Europe are definitely still in the experimental phase, the potential is so massive that every single major platform out here is scrambling to replicate that exact model for Western audiences. I really love this quote from creator-economist Vinny Potistevo. It just perfectly hits the nail on the head. Basically, the days of passive, mindless scrolling are numbered. The future of influencer content is highly interactive and, crucially, inherently shoppable. It's all about closing that gap between seeing a cool product in a video and experiencing a seamless, instant checkout without ever having to leave the app.
And the crazy part is, we're watching the infrastructure for this get built in real time. We're talking about scheduled, highly shoppable pop-ups on new platform services. Think Pinterest TV, Amazon Live, and believe it or not, even LinkedIn audio events. Major traditional retailers are getting in on the action too. Walmart, for example, has been aggressively partnering with TikTok's Talk Shop Live to run these massive live shopping events. Finally, let's explore where the absolute cutting-edge marketing dollars are flowing in Section 5, New Marketing Frontiers. We're talking UGC, paid media, and the metaverse. It all starts with user-generated content, or UGC. Instead of writing a massive check for one polished sponsored post, brands are waking up to the fact that real, trackable ROI comes from genuine word of mouth. When an everyday consumer or a nano-influencer posts an unboxing video simply because they are genuinely hyped about a niche product, it creates this layer of deep, authentic credibility. And honestly, traditional advertising just can't buy that. So let's look at how this builds into an actual actionable playbook, a really efficient campaign loop. Step 1, you find and partner with a highly trusted, super niche nano-influencer to create that authentic UGC. Step 2, you pair that specific content with an exclusive live online shopping moment. And step 3, this is crucial, you don't just let that great content disappear down the timeline. You use tools like Facebook Ads Manager or TikTok Promote to hyper-target that top-performing post as a paid ad. It literally stretches your marketing dollars so much farther. And for those of you looking way out over the horizon, we have to mention the metaverse, a $2.6 trillion e-commerce potential by 2030. I know, it still sounds a bit like sci-fi, but major brands are already setting up shop right now. Samsung built this massive virtual replica of their New York store for digital avatars to browse, and Macy's is out there hosting virtual Thanksgiving parades with NFT design contests. The brands that are taking the time to build community in those spaces today are basically calling dibs on the commerce of tomorrow. Which brings us to our final thought for the day. We've looked at the data. We know the power has definitively shifted to authentic nano-influencers. We know short-form video isn't optional anymore. Live shopping is the storefront of the future, and mixing UGC with paid media is the ultimate ROI engine. The landscape hasn't just shifted, it has completely evolved. The old playbook is basically toast. So as you start mapping out your budget for the upcoming year, you really have to ask yourself, are you still paying for empty followers, or are you finally investing in genuine influence? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.